Testing, testing. I'll go live in just a bit, guys.
Just some minor adjustments.
Hello. Welcome. Hello, Victor, Igor, Slycoons, Paul Walker. I'm glad you guys are here. Dying to see how we did this masterpiece. In this video might surprise you, or this stream I mean. It was actually easier than you would expect. Hello, Blue Star Line. Welcome, welcome. Love the new hair. Thank you. I've been dying to get my hair cut for ages, but I've just been lazy. I have seen these colored names in some YouTube streams lately, besides mod, and I wonder, are they a change made by YouTube? And do they indicate anything in particular? Well, Blue Star Line is a verified YouTube channel, so that's probably why it has like that fancy like edge around his name, I guess. Is that the Stern sinking animation you uploaded? Yes. I'm gonna be showcasing how I made at least some of it. Like a red and blue. I'm not seeing any color names except Blue Star Line. Okay, you're probably thinking about other streams, like different colors to the names. And that's when you become a member of that channel. And you've been a member for X amount of months or something. It was kind of like, yeah, if you have red, you've been a member for like 2 months. If you have green, 6 months maybe. I don't know specifically, but it's something like that. It's not the technical aspect, but I'm amazed by the details, the funnel being pulled. Yeah, that was an interesting one. I was unsure if I should even do that. The cavitation with the portholes in the stern. Yeah. So I'm probably gonna jump right into it, maybe? I guess I can, like... Because for some reason that animation, it kind of went viral. Well, not viral in that sense, but it got a hell of a lot of views for something that I uploaded. So that was very exciting. I'm very glad that people enjoyed it. So I'm guessing like most of you in here have seen it, but either way, I'm just gonna play quickly through it there. So we just see like the final product. It might be very dark. That is something I wanted to change. That the whole video was way too dark. Yeah, it's a very simple animation. Is that real time? No, this is the YouTube video. I just wanted to kind of showcase the animation before I go in depth on how I created it. Is the audio and stuff good? I'm guessing since no one has said anything. I wonder, does that run at all in real time in the editor? Oh yeah. That's no problem. So I guess we can start with that. Showing it in real time. Obviously, I did some post-process effects here in After Effects, so that's not going to be included. It all looks and sounds 55. 5 out of 5, okay. So think if I play now. Okay, I think the sequence. So let's play. Alright, yeah, there we go. This is real time. Yeah, so that's basically it. I'm gonna be showing you some of my methods here and how I did specific stuff. I kind of do it step by step as usual. I don't have a plan at all. So okay, so the first thing I did was obviously split up the Titanic. I just really wish for one last flash. Although we can't see the ship anymore. Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of stuff that I could have done here. I think the last flashes I have are here. Yeah, I do understand what you mean, for sure. Yeah, so the first thing I did was split up the ship. And actually, no, that's not the first thing I did. The first thing I did was plan out the shot in like my head. Because I knew I wanted to have this angle, right? And I wanted us to kind of go alongside the ship and end up on the back here. The flickering such explosion makes it feel so cool. Kind of looks like the 2006 Poseidon. Yeah, I was really inspired by that movie actually, because I really love the scene where the ship is flipped and you can just see all the lights flickering and then suddenly everything is dark. I never noticed that wooden panel sticking beside the ship. Yeah, I needed to have some sort of debris. I'll go into the debris later, because I did something a little bit odd that you probably wouldn't have done. But yeah, so this one is manually animated. I just kind of... because the ship here is not moving. The camera is the only thing that's moving. So I did that because that's much easier. It's much easier to animate like a static ship instead of having the whole ship move and adding different animations to it at the same time. So, and it's dark enough so it's fake that the ship is actually moving, but it's actually just a camera. Okay, yeah, so the first thing I did is, if I can find the model. So I took my reference model. This is not my high quality model. This is my reference model. And I figured since the shot is going to be so quick and it's going to be so dark and there's going to be a lot of stuff happening, I didn't really need a high quality model, because if you look at the model here, it's not high quality at all. It's got weird colors. Most of this doesn't even have a color. So I figured it was just okay by using the low reference model, well, the low poly model. And I use some modeling tools to just split the ship in half. I guess it's easier for me if I can just add this. So some weird stuff happening there. Yeah, so I basically just split up the model. Very crudely done. It's not really a realistic breakup, but again, it's going so fast that you don't really notice it. Did you use a knife tool in Blender to do it? No. I guess I can show it here real quick. So let's just call this model. Cut out by another mesh. Kinda. Okay, yeah. So this is a fresh model now. And the reason why I'm having this in unlit is obviously because it's so freaking dark here. See if I can make it brighter. I think we're just gonna have it in unlit for now. So yeah, I just took my reference model and I used the modeling tools in Unreal. Because again, this could be further done since it's going so fast. And I need to find that. This one, pin cut. So this is like a very easy tool to use. It's very straightforward what it's doing here. So I basically just did this. You perfectly recreated my childhood nightmare. That's probably why I still have minor thalassophobia. I do believe this video should have a warning in the title. Yeah, it is also, that's kind of why I created it. Because, and I also saw most of the comments were like, I've always wanted to see something like this. Like, how it could have looked like underwater, and we never really seen that before. We've seen it underwater, but that's always very bright, and it's meant more to like showcase what happened. We have never been like in the water with the ship going down. Can't imagine people still in there. Yeah, it's terrifying. It really is. Yeah, so this is easy enough. Split the model in half. But I also wanted some more effects on the edges there. Kind of like the metal has been pulled apart really violently, like we have here. And why the bottom is glass, I'll tell you in a second. Hi, I just found out about your project after watching the syncing animation video. I'm still a bit confused about what the game will be about. Will we be able to experience the syncing? Yes. It's basically a story game where the story takes place on the Titanic. So that's the easiest way I can explain it at the moment. I'm still writing the story, so I can't tell you like the whole story yet. But essentially, it's a story-based game with Titanic as the setting. I have no idea why we got party stuff here. Oh, jeez, sorry. Okay, I'm gonna restart the project. some of the weird bugs in Unreal 5. The animation was amazing. Thank you. It turned out surprisingly well. It's still messed up. Yeah, let's change the material here. Material doesn't really matter. What is important here is the model here itself. It's really annoying that it's so dark there, isn't it? Let's crank up the... Yeah, so this is gonna be weird. There's so much fog and stuff going on here. I also need to remember the original setting. You know what? Let's create a whole other light. Sorry guys, I should have prepared this better. But that's fine. Okay, yeah, so that's better. And world's gonna turn off a million. Jamie has just subscribed. Thank you, Jamie. Yeah, so here you can see like the whole scene, how it looks like with a proper sky. Yeah, so the important thing on this model is like the roughness of the terrain here, because I can use this model to cut out pieces in the ship itself. Titanic Empire, welcome. Thank you. So let's do something like this. And I can create yes, Boolean, I believe. There we go. Now we can see like that rock model we had. It's actually cutting a hole in the ship mesh. And that's basically it. Obviously I went in here and I removed some extra stuff, like the wires, like the communication wires up here, stuff that didn't really make sense and stuff that we wouldn't see anyways. For a second, I thought you have forgotten to remove lifeboats. No, I did remove lifeboats as well, because it didn't make sense that those were there either. What do you think about Titanic Honor and Glory? I think it's a freaking banger project. And all the best to those guys. They're really working hard on this. And it's definitely gonna change how the next generation will look at Titanic from a different perspective. So yeah, definitely props to those guys. Yeah, so this is how like I made the base model. But yeah, I also did some other stuff. I detached the chimney or the funnel, because I wanted this to be floating around. Let me go back to our sequence here. Yeah, so we're just going to do this lit for now. I wanted the funnel here to kind of still be attached, and the funnel is what pushes down the mast. I'm not sure how realistic it is that the funnel is still attached, but it is very likely that the funnel did not fall when the shipper broke in half. Because the reason the other funnels fell was because of the water pressure was destroying like the lower compartments of the funnel that was actually keeping it together. But the water didn't reach up to this funnel before it broke. So I took that liberty to include the funnel here. Plus, it also kind of breaks up with the colors, because this gold color, I mean, it's just cool to have more color, more stuff happening in the scene. And I also saw one comment that he wondered why I did this, and he was kind of worried about the ethics of all this, since I am dramatizing this. I wouldn't say I'm making an action shot like Hollywood, but it's definitely dramatized. So he made some good points, but at the same time, I do think you have to dramatize a lot of stuff to keep viewers engaged. And if you keep your viewers engaged, you make sure that they remember it. If they remember this project, that means the Titanic is going to be remembered. And that means that the story is going to be remembered. So that was just one interesting comment. Because obviously the ethics there are important, but at the same time, you do need to keep the viewer engaged in a way. Let's just remove this, we don't need that anymore. I believe due to where the funnel was tied up, it probably could have flipped upside down due to the water drag. If that makes sense, but I love the way you did this. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that could have happened to the funnel. I mean, most likely it would have detached from this before the whole stern went underwater. There's not a single recreation of the Titanic sinking that hasn't been dramatized. True. So it's not a big deal. I mean, dramatization is necessary to tell a story. Like, look at war films and stuff like that. They are based on real stuff, but they're definitely dramatized. If you don't want to see anything dramatized, look at the documentaries. And even documentaries are very often heavily dramatized as well. Either way. So, other things I did there. Obviously, the mast. I did want the mast to break up and kind of slam down on the back here with a heavy force. And I was also allowed to do that because in the wreck, you can see like the whole stern is just mangled. There's no way to tell if this really happened or didn't happen or whatever. Because like all of this has been, if I remember correctly, it's been peeled backwards. So all of this is just gone. And same with this. But I did do a couple of interesting stuff here though. If we look at the platform here. Turn this down a bit. There's nothing left because most of it fell off during the descent. Yeah, mana decks just peeled off starting from the breaking point. Yeah. Does the center propeller have 3 or 4 blades? In this model, it has 4. Though I do know that this model isn't 100% accurate. But we don't even see the propellers in the animation, so it didn't make any difference to me. But yeah, if we look at this platform here, when the mast breaks off, you can see that I'm smashing it, and since it's going so fast, I just made all of this in one frame. So these are just 2 different models that I'm changing. This is going so fast, so it doesn't make any difference. And you don't even notice it. Are you interested in making other ships sinking animation? I mean, maybe. I mean, I may do something in the future, but right now, I have way too much on my plate already for this project. And there's tons of other YouTubers that makes animation, like sinking animations. The blade count is most likely one of the biggest Titanic debates ever. Yeah. When my brother-in-law and I were building the Lego, we kind of discussed it. Well, we didn't really discuss it, but we kind of searched up the internet and stuff. And I mean, there's proof for both, but I don't remember exactly which one is most likely. Yeah, I don't remember it's 3 or 4, but either way. Yes, so that's a quick one-frame animation. I also have a bunch of particle effects here. Some I made, and some I downloaded, and some I downloaded and changed. Let me see if I can actually catch one of these. So this is a really cool one. Because I really wanted to tell the viewer that this ship is still full of air, which is why I have so many implosions and like bubbles coming out. Yeah, so this one is... Yeah, I mean, you saw it. It's just some basic bubbles, but when you add enough of them, you can really notice like they form up. Is it possible to add the ropes from the lifeboat, Davids? I do have that in my high quality model, which I'm going to work a bit on after I'm finished showcasing this. Toketronic, thank you for subscribing. Welcome. I don't see a reason why anyone wouldn't dispute the four-blade system, with it being turbine powered, also smaller in diameter. I see no reason why they would decide to do 3 blades. I mean, I don't know. I'm not an expert in this, so which is why I'm not commenting too much on it. Oh yeah, you meant like that, yeah. Yeah, I did decide not to do that, but it wouldn't be too hard, because it's essentially the same thing as this, right? So I could just have a bunch of these alongside the ship. So yeah, I definitely could do that, but for some reason I just didn't. Excuse me. Yeah, implosions, right. So I'm having a lot of this. It's basically a explosion animation, but I just changed it to like be without the fire and without the sparks, because it kind of looks like there's a lot of pressure even breaching out or breaching in. I mean, if you can even see them here. I'll just make a copy here. So it's a real basic one. I placed it alongside the ship, like basically everywhere. Yeah, it was the two front collapsibles that they didn't get time to release, but they still went in the water. If I remember correctly, one of them sank and the other one capsized. So what else did I do here? Yeah, I've thought, even though it's the lowest build here, I guess we can turn on the regular lights again. So I still felt like it was too little detailed, especially up front here, because I'm imagining like that type of force when it breaks apart is definitely going to do some damage to this one as well. So I basically just added some decals alongside the ship here, also to just break up the whiteness, because everything just looked way too white at some point. Yeah, so I just kind of did that alongside the ship. And there's also a bunch of lights there, flickering on and off. That was a very basic thing. I mean, you just turn a light on or off. Just kind of do it fast, so it looks like it's flickering. Is it realistic that the lights were flickering at this point? Probably not. But I do imagine, like, all the forces being put together here, it's definitely gonna cause enough damage to maybe set some electricity off, or like metal crushing together, generating huge sparks. I don't know. It's probably not too realistic. But anyways. Now, the biggest light here is this one right here. That's kind of blinking reddish. The only reason I added in this light was that so we could see the silhouette of the funnel hitting the hitting the mast here. Because if I didn't have this light, we would not see this interaction happening. So that means the map would just break randomly. And I mean, it's kind of like an anticipation frame for the animation. So I just kind of faked it with some random lights there so we can see the silhouettes. Yeah, so just some more bubbles. I made sure to place most of the bubbles out of like these. I completely forgot what it's called now. like the small windows. And that's basically it for the sequence itself. I do have a lot of post-processing though. This is without, and this is with. So it kind of makes like this post-process thing here is what makes it look like it's underwater, basically. So let's say this frame is not in there, right? We also got some basic camera shake. There's some freezing. There's like a normal map on top of the camera, making this freezing look. It's not really, you don't really notice it in the animation, but it kind of makes it look colder in a way. And that's it for the base of the animation and the post-processing. Hello, Philip. Welcome. Another cool thing I did though, because I needed a lot of debris to come out of this. Like obviously, the bow is still going forward, dropping out a bunch of debris, and there's a lot of debris being peeled off from the stern here. That effect makes it look even more bubbly and the water distorting. Yeah, I also have some like distortion. You can kind of see like some bubbles here and there, like distorting the water. What are you doing today? Right now I'm just kind of showing how I made my last animation, and once I'm done with that, I'm gonna work a bit on the ship itself, I believe. And after that, I'm actually doing another stream later today with a friend of mine, which is also a Titanic YouTuber, Blue Star Line. So me and him are gonna play play a bit of the 401 demo, and yeah, just chill, honestly. Where are all the little planks from the decking that are visible in your video floating up? That is exactly what I was supposed to show now. So I needed a lot of debris to come out of here, but I didn't want to manually animate like debris floating up. So I programmed it instead. So if I press simulate here now, it needs to be on it. So you can see when I'm pressing play here, down here it's generating a lot of different debris based on a array that I made. It has everything from, it's mostly planks though, but I can like put in different metal scraps, doors, windows, stuff like that. So I essentially just programmed it in, let me see if I can find it here. Called spawner or something. Yeah, debris spawner. So yeah, this is just spawning a I'll find it there. Like an actor based on a array. And here's my array. You can see there's just like a bunch of different planks. So when I run this, it's generating a lot of different planks and stuff, and they will float upwards. Because then I don't have to manually animate every single plank. So it's much easier to just... And yeah, it's kind of cool when we see it from like this angle. How am I doing? I'm doing very good. Thank you for asking. How are you, Philip? So that just made the job much easier for me in one way. Because in another way, I had to render this so many times to get the perfect shot. Because the pros about having debris spawning like procedurally is that, like I said, I don't need to animate it manually. But at the same time, I have no control over where the debris is going to end up. So there were so many times that there were planks flying into the camera and it was really disrupting the shot, or flying through the ship, like very specific areas. Like this one looks cool. I mean, this shot would have worked, but there were so many times my shot was just filled with different planks inside the camera. So I had to render it so many times. But it turned out fine. Hello, Saz. Welcome. Good, Philip. I'm glad to hear it. Also, I do believe... well, maybe not, actually. Because I also spent a lot of time on the sound design. Let me just get the video up once more here. Now make the video from the ship's perspective, with us looking up when the sun goes from the surface on the water, and then we follow it towards the bottom until it's completely dark. That would be so much work, though. Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna have to do something like that eventually. Because I'm just gonna turn off the sound air, so we can hear like the sounds in the video. Because I'm gonna show a bit of that as well. Oh yeah, like I said, I spent a lot of time. Let me just. I spent a lot of time on the sound design as well. Let's focus on that. Where did those sounds come from? They do such a good job selling the effect. Yeah, I know the sound design here. Like when I looked at it afterwards, I definitely think I could have done it better. But for the time being, I think it really worked. And I'm gonna show you both of the like the sound effects here. I unfortunately don't have the raw sound because it's consisting of multiple different explosions and sounds and weird stuff all over the place. I unfortunately don't have that. Well, maybe I do actually when I think about it. Okay, sorry. I may actually have it. Do you plan on having that shot as a game intro title sequence? I mean, it's way too early to say that, so I'm not actually sure. Okay, no, I deleted all the sounds. Goddamn. Well, yeah, as an intro, I don't know. If it's going to be an intro, I definitely want to redo it, because I want to redo it with like the high poly model and add a bunch of different effects. Because the reality is, I only spent about 2.5 days on this sequence, I believe. And that is actually a very short amount of time. So let's say I spent a week or two. I definitely think I can nail a whole different animation doing that. Please make the iceberg animation into the game. Yeah, that is definitely going to be in the game. If it's going to be exactly that one, probably not. But it's definitely going to be like a similar animation, sure. But yeah, I'm also a big fan of that animation. Okay, let me turn off the sound here again. Oops, wrong button. There we go. So, obviously, I needed to low pass this because it's underwater. But this is all the raw sounds without any effects on them. So there's like no low pass or anything. So that is a raw. And this one I just added like... So it's probably very annoying when I'm talking over the sounds. But this one I just added a low pass, a bunch of reverb, and like a delay, kind of make it sound like it's underwater. Did you record these sounds? No, it's consisting of like... I think we can even see how many sounds this is, because it's a lot of sounds. So it says I'm missing 22 files there because I believe I don't think I deleted the sounds, but I think I moved them to a new folder. And this is like, I don't know if you guys are experienced with editing softwares, but all of these things there are basically a new sound being applied. And I'm kind of matching those sounds to what's happening in the video. So if I see a explosion, I'm adding like an explosion sound. Sorry, I missed some comments there. And the part with the engine. What do you mean about the part with the engine? I have a question. Will there be an animation of the boat on YouTube? There already is. If I understand your question correctly. Either way, so yeah, I just kind of match up the sounds. And then I exported all the sounds and I applied reverb to them, a low pass filter, and then I put them back in, and then the video was basically finished. There's a bit of color grading here and there, some glow, stuff like that. But I didn't really do too much in After Effects other than the sound design, because I really wanted most of this to come out of Unreal. Alright, I'll see you later, Philip. Thanks for stopping by, man. So yeah, I believe that is it. I just watched the iceberg thing again, and damn, it does look so good. Thank you. I also think that that is one of my better animations. I do remember which project that is in though, because I have like 5 projects now with different states of the game. Because I'm wondering how that looks now. It's not here. It may be in the first one. Yeah, it's there. So I can try to open that to see if we can even access that ice animation. Because I haven't... I don't think I've opened it in like a year. Sorry, I'll turn the music back up. Yeah, I remember playing, I'm guessing VS is Virtual Sailor. I do remember playing, like, I don't remember which version, but I was really young. I played it a lot as a kid. Now, where's that ice thing? Or was that a whole other project? Just give me a second here, sorry. I just kind of want to find that again. But I may have deleted it. No, I don't think I deleted it. I just need to find out where it is. I watched it like 40 times when it came out. Do you remember when I talked about the engines? Well, it's for the part with the iceberg. Engines? I'm not too sure what you mean, man. Because I think I made like a unique project. I called it like Ice Cinematic or something. So there's some of the renders there. Oh yeah, right. You want to know something funny though? You know the latest. Well, it's not real funny. The latest animation from THG. They showcased the iceberg, and it's the same ice model that I used for my cinematic. But that's basically just because that on the marketplace for Unreal Engine, that's definitely like the best looking ice. I just thought it was kind of funny. Well, not funny, but it was interesting to see. Yeah, I don't think I can find it here. Yeah, I have no idea where that is. I'm gonna have to find it sometime. Still, I have the render stuff. All good. There's a tool called Everything that can search your whole computer real fast. Yeah, I've heard about something like that people use instead of like a Windows search thing, because Windows 8 kind of effed up the search function. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to find out sometimes. I always wanted to do a breakdown on that one as well, because it was kind of interesting how I did that one. It's a lot of the same stuff I did in my previous animation now, but like I'm creating small ice physics objects, sorry, that when I hit something they kind of break up, and I just added 1,000 of them, which is why there's so much stuff going on all the time. Yeah, I know it's like it's actually crazy. Yeah, so I've started working a bit on the ship itself now. I'm splitting everything up into different pieces, and then I can take those pieces, put them into Blender or 3ds Max or something, and then I'm gonna make them higher quality and like unwrap them properly, stuff like that, and then place them back in. So I just started doing that with like the superstructure, the hull, and like the bigger objects. And what I'm gonna do eventually is like take objects that appear a lot of the time, such as this one, or like the ventilation, and I'm gonna place them in their correct position with the same 3D model, so I can also take that model into a external software and model it better. Just send you a link to the tool, just in case you need it. Thank you, I'll definitely download that. Kind of the same like I did with these benches. They're all the same 3D model, so I can export this, change it, and export it back in, and then all of these models are going to be updated. That is at least how I intend to work on this now. Yeah, so someone was talking about the davits earlier. I don't know if you guys remember when we made this all the way back. What the fuck? Oh, shit. Okay, I did not mean to swear there. Paul Walker, I see a little person there on the bridge. How nice. Yes! Thank you so much for the donation, man. Thank you. That's like my second... No, it's actually my third donation. And you're 2 of them. Thank you so much. And yeah, you're still here. Pavel, the Google guy, plus more. Never gonna remove him. I'm just gonna make him like a statue. Yeah, thanks, man. That really means a lot. Oh. Yeah, I have no idea what this is. It's definitely some collision stuff, right? Yeah, thanks, man. This is test player model. Yes. So the one I'm controlling is just something I'm having. It's just a placeholder. Obviously, we're not going to be controlling like a blue man. But yeah, I'm doing this to see how it feels to walk around on the ship. And to see how like sizing is. Because size is gonna be everything here. To see like how the size fits the character. Is the wall too high? Does the character feel small? Stuff like that. And I'm also the reason why this guy is here. Well, first of all, this is Paul Walker in chat here, since he helped me a lot with building this. But this model itself, it's something I've kind of placed around the ship to have like a size reference. Are we going to do 2 alternate endings? Probably not. I'm not too sure though. Because I'm still working on the concept as to how this is even going to play out. But I'm not sure actually. It is set to Captain Smith. I do believe. Yeah, we maybe did do that, didn't we? Because we lowered the character a little bit because people were a tiny bit what's it called, lower? Yeah, well, people were smaller back in the day. So this guy is 180, and this guy is about 170. One sinking ending, 2 New York ending. I mean, stuff like that would be interesting to kind of have your character be able to die in a way. Well, maybe not die, but like different outcomes to the character. So it's not out of the question, but right now I'm just not focusing on stuff like that. I think we set him to 170-ish. Yeah, maybe. I mean, there's a really quick way to just see this though. Yeah, he's basically exactly 170. It's like 171. 170 and a half to be exact. Hello, Savukar. Welcome. And so these are essentially the reference model. And I'm kind of just borrowing structure from this model, placing it here. And as I said earlier, then I have like a reference, and I can go into a external 3D program and model it properly. How many cans are you drinking? Well, this is just soda. But it's been sitting here for so long that it's hot. And it's not really that good anyway, it's in cheap stuff. You're you to be saying you're playing EVE Online. Sorry, what? I should probably change the title as well. Titanic, GameDev stuff. What about the other one, the blue can? That's a beer. Oh. And that's nice and cold. You will do the first class stairs? Yes. Sorry, I just need to watch this EVE Online thing. I actually don't see it. Well, anyways. Not important. Cheeky. It's Sunday. I'm allowed to. It'll be interesting to have 2 Titanic games. It'd be great to see 2 different creative directions, yours and TNG. Yeah. There's actually quite a big difference between our projects. TNG is definitely going to be a bigger scale. It's going to be like a 100% recreation of the actual ship. And it's, as far as I know, it's more like a museum, whereas this is more of a game. Just screenshot on Discord. let me just show this thing. EVE Online. I've never played that game. I've heard of it, but I've never played that. Okay. I guess I just continue. Yeah, so this is kind of boring, slow process. It might be a bummer, but exploring premise does not float my boat. You walk around and cool, but I want to see Titanic have purpose, see the part sail, meet her, and not just stand still in the water while I walk around staring at wooden panels. Yeah, okay, first of all, what is this? So maybe I shouldn't have done that. Yeah, well, I do want to construct my game in a way which is more cinematic than a walking simulator. Also, your character is going to have like a goal. Like I've been thinking about a lot of different types of characters, like who the main character could have been. Let's just take one example that I've thought about. Don't take this as the actual game because it's not decided and probably won't happen. But I've been thinking more about being like a detective or officer, like police officer somehow on the ship, and you have like a goal to investigate something. And so you're going to be going back and forth with different passengers. You need to find different passengers on the ship. Maybe go into their cabins to find different items. As I said, it's not decided at all. It's just one of the ideas I've had. I want it to be on a functioning Titanic, not an interactive museum. Yeah, I definitely do get that, and I do feel the same way. Though, at the same time, I really have to credit Honor and Glory for the amount of detail and work they're putting into their project. And I definitely think that project has so much potential other than just being a game. Like, imagine going into a museum, putting on some VR headsets, and you can go around looking at the ship exactly how it was. What are you exactly doing there? Right now I'm pulling different objects from the reference model. That way I have a good reference of how that area was constructed. And then I'm later going to export that into Blender and model a more detailed version of it and import it back. And it's going to update like automatically. Now we just kind of pulled this wall from here, and I just center it, go here. And that is, I'm only gonna do this with the superstructure though. Well, not the superstructure, but the bigger structures of the ship. Sorry, I'm mumbling. I felt like Demo 3 in Belfast still made me feel like I'm on Titanic. It had purpose with our character was preparing for the Border Trades certification. Yeah, because they did change kind of their goal with Honor and Glory. But yeah, I've spoken to some of the developers there, and they also, well, I'm not going to talk for everybody, but yeah, they also see that why Demo 3 was so good. What does it look like if you put all the textures together? Not too sure what you mean by that, but it's going to just look like all textures, I guess. Like one singular texture. Yeah, so this is a really slow process, but I mean it's fine and it's necessary as well. And boom, we have a new wall. Who knows where the little door to the left was leading to? It definitely went down to the storage if like it went down another floor. God damn it, I played the THC demo. I kind of remember it. But no, I don't. Like, something. Yeah, the crew was sleeping there or something. I don't remember. I think the model looks nice so far. It's definitely progressing. But a lot of these parts have to be remodeled. Well, not really remodeled, but like kind of smoothed out and made more detailed. Like this one is just a square, there's no detail here. Kind of gonna have to curve the edges, gonna have to add the left-right lights and the light on top of here. Make some sort of edge. There's a lot of stuff here to be done. But I'm just trying to get the basic structure together. There's definitely some collision issues issues right here. I can't move here. Got to grab some food, see you later or in the next stream. Yeah, I'm gonna be streaming with Blue Star Line in hour and a half. So I'm not too sure how much longer I'm gonna stream here. Because I'm gonna get some food before I join that stream as well. There's a lamp trimmer's room. It was right behind the door, and after that there was no way through it. And it's an unusual solution. Yeah. The game be compatible with a VR headset? Definitely not the whole game. That would be way too much work to set up. But I definitely want to make like, I don't know, like a demo. Like a small section of it being in VR. That would have been fun. So let's do some of the most boring and tedious work. Let's make some fences. Hey King Wright, welcome. The haircut looks good. Thank you. This is actually what my hair usually looks like. I just let it took way too long to actually get my hair cut. did I place this again? I'm here, I just got my haircut yesterday. It was getting out of hand. Yeah, I mean, I'm so lazy with cutting my hair. What's going on here? It's been a while since I've been placing fences, but I do remember it being really key. They're gonna be overlapping anyways. A random question. Have you guys seen the Super Mario movie? I watched it this weekend with some friends. I really liked it actually. I liked it more than I expected. Remember about gaps and railing for the stairs? Yep. It's all here. I think it's kind of weird though. Have I even solved that anywhere else? Maybe that actually is a smarter solution. Sorry, I'm talking a lot with myself here. Like, stuff like this can't happen. But I don't remember how to use this tool. Welcome back, Stama. Definitely not like that. This is so weird. Well, it's not real weird, it's the thing here. But I don't remember how to change it. Also, Unreal did some changes to how spline meshes are made. So, I don't. Is this even going to compile? It is, okay. By the way, I just remember if you ever need any smoke, fire, explosions, I have a bunch of high quality ones I made with Embergen. Embergen, I've heard about Embergen. Well, I guess it's Embergen. Right. How's the exporting for that though? Is that like going to be converted to Niagara, or I'm just curious how they are going to be exported into Unreal. I'm just gonna do this the hacky way. It's just a bunch of density volume frames. Is that a thing I can even use on our? Oh my god, I'm stupid. Yeah, that's so much better actually. Wait, what is going on here? Okay, so it said you could in the program.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, definitely gonna need that eventually, I guess. I'm not really gonna bother, bother with matching up like the rails here. That is not something that is going to be necessary, I believe. I mean, who cares, honestly? As long as there's rails there, I think that is more than enough. Also, I'm not gonna connect them either. I'm gonna do like this here. If I just change this here. Yeah, so I think this looks a lot better, even though this is now not the correct height. Like so. Yeah, the curvature of the ship is kind of annoying. That looks good. And this is finicky. Jesus. One thing I can do. Make everything like mathematically correct on each side. So 853, and I'll put this to 8. But obviously the ship is not completely aligned, so let's put it like this is like the boring stuff in game design. But it needs to be done. Oliel, thank you for subscribing. Welcome. Thank you. How much percent do you believe of the ship is done? That's hard to say, man. I mean, exterior. I guess like in basic that's a hard word. Proportions of the exterior. I think it's about. I don't know. What do you think? 50%? But that's the basic proportion. So after that, I'm going to be adding like all of these different objects all around, and then comes the detailing, the texturing, and making like dirt in nooks and crannies. And yeah, so there's definitely a long way still to go. You can also reduce the steps on the grid to get more precise steps for moving stuff. Yeah. I know that was when you moved the railing earlier. Yeah. It's sort of weird to move, but at the same time, I guess I can put it to like 1, because it's sort of precise. I guess 1 works. Yeah, so I don't really know why I didn't do that earlier. Well, thank you. I have got a 28-page document in the PDF that could help you apply correct shear camber to the ship decks. If you could maybe turn it into some formula where you could automatically apply a shear. I think I'm gonna base it mostly on like the reference I have itself, because this is curved as well, and that should be accurate enough, I do believe. Because it's going to be really hard to apply like you said, formula to the whole thing. I think I'm gonna have to base it on this one and do it by eye. I mean, as long as I have this one, the rest of the decks will kind of curve themselves, I guess. Here's a weird. Yeah. So I made like a bunch of different fences. And there's also more fences. It's not really fences, it's railing, I guess. And we also have... Where are they? Yeah, we got some here, which is also alongside the ship. So I have this green texture on anything that is not finished, essentially. Hello, Titanic, Death of the Legend. I like your name. Welcome. Okay, yeah, you're right. The stepping did help a lot. No idea why I didn't do that earlier. Oh well. Bro, that's not linear though. I'm pretty sure it does. Like following the hole here, you can definitely see it curving. It's gonna be a bit of work to properly set that, all of that together. I'm not too sure how I'm gonna accomplish that here. Camber, I'm not sure if I know what the camber is. I need to look that up. Is the hole wider at the bottom than it is on the deck? Here. Seems like it, at least a tiny bit. Do you plan to make the model a true copy? No. I'm gonna make it as realistic as it needs to be for my game. Like, one example is the freaking fences here. I'm not gonna bother matching up the fences with, like, this one. I'm not gonna match it up 100%. I'm just gonna do it, not briefly, but kind of. I'm gonna make it as realistic as it needs to be for my story to be told, essentially. THG is there for the true copy. Yeah, Titanic Honor and Glory is another Titanic project, and they are recreating it 100%. But they're like a team of 10 guys. And I've been working on it for, I don't know, 10 years, something like that. Then you don't need the lower part that is under the water to be exact, right? No, it doesn't need to be exact, but because the ship is curved and like it looks pretty straight, but it's actually kind of curved, and that is important for the interior. Because like when you're looking down a hallway, you can actually see like the curvature. And that is something that I believe is important to kind of show. So it does not need to be 100% correct, no, but it needs to be close enough. And I guess that's my motto for this project, close enough. I think it would be way too long to make it completely right. Yeah, I really want to release this thing before I'm old, right? So, close enough is good enough. Because I also want to work on other stuff. Eventually. What is going on here? Kinda tedious working with splines. They're both 9.5 feet higher than the middle of the ship. I just need to double check one. Blue Star Line will be streaming. Yeah, so again, I'm gonna be joining Blue Star Line in his stream in exactly 1 hour, actually. So if you guys wanna hang with us there as well, you're all welcome to join. We're gonna be playing the demo, Honor and Glory demo. And he's gonna, I guess he's not gonna interview me, but he's gonna, I guess, ask me a bit about this project, and we're just gonna hang, talk a bit about Titanic, probably. So you're all welcome to join. Hey, what are you making? I'm making a game on the Titanic. So right now I'm just trying to build some fences. I always call them fences, railings. Is this going to be a game with NPCs? Yeah, for sure. I already know now how I'm gonna do the NPCs in this game, and I'm so hyped about it because it's completely new in Unreal 5. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but it's the same thing they used in the Matrix demo. It's like a whole new crowd system for people, and when you learn how to do it, it looks really difficult to do, but once you learn it, it's going to be so freaking amazing, and I'm so hyped for it. Yeah, the crowd system. I'm so hyped to start working on that, because you can make a huge crowd of a lot of people, and you can build like paths for them. So let's say I'm just gonna spawn 100 people on deck, and I'm making a multiple different paths. So maybe somebody goes inside the ship, maybe someone goes down to the next deck, somebody stops, points at a bird or something. Somebody goes to a bench and sits down, and yeah, I'm super hyped to start working on that. HTN based? I'm not too sure what you mean by HTN. Sounds really cool. Yeah, it's actually very mind-blowing. It's still in early access in this version of Unreal, but there's rumors that in at least 5.3 it's going to be fully integrated. How will they respond to gravity? Exactly like you believe, I think. I mean, they're just going to be walking around the deck. So they're just going to be like regular NPCs in any other game, I guess. Well, not in any other game, obviously, because mine are going to be so much better. If they are not pre-scripted, are they not going to be heavy hitters for performance? Both yes and no, because they kinda are pre-scripted. They're just they're pre-scripted on where they're gonna go, but they adapt along the way there, if that makes sense. Because then their AI is computed on the gamer's rig then. Yeah, I mean, the truth is this game is gonna be heavy for a computer. That is just easy enough. I wish it wasn't like that, but I mean, it kind of needs to. But the ship does break and sink. Yeah, it is gonna do that, but that is something that's gonna have to be pre-scripted, I believe. It's going to be very hard to have AI act according to... Okay, then I understand the question about gravity. Like when the ship is like this, how is the AI going to react then? That is interesting. An interesting question. I'll cross that bridge when I get there. But I do believe, for the most part, like the crowd system will still work. But there's going to be so much more chaos. So a lot of it has to be pre-scripted. So I'm thinking like people in the background can be like the basic AI, and the ones closer to the player is definitely gonna have to be pre-scripted. If a PC runs games like Red Dead 2 on Ultra, can it handle this? I definitely think so. It's still very early in the process, but I can already tell that it's going to be like heavy on a computer. If your game is not going to be free roam, but more like camera scripted, will you have a whole ship loaded, or will you have it in sections for better optimization? Both. I do believe the exterior needs to be loaded at all times when we're out there. Like, let's say I mean, we can probably do a quick test of this right now. Like, if the player stands here for some reason, he can technically see all the way to the back of the ship. And I'm also not sure if I'm going to have like the I don't think it's going to be camera scripted. I know I have said earlier that I want to do that, but right now I'm not too sure. It does sound interesting to be in a third-person mode at all times. So, a recent inspiration for this project, which is kind of random, but which is something to definitely look into, is the new Harry Potter game, like Hogwarts Legacy. It's also made in Unreal 5, and it has super cool loading. It's like everything is loaded in real time. Let's say, yeah, let's just say I want to go in here. This is a door. This is supposed to be a door. So I want to go in here, but I walk up to the door, and it's going to take a second because it's done loading the interior. And once it's done loading, then the door is going to open, and I can walk in here and still see the outside of the ship. And when I exit here, this section is going to unload again. So mostly you don't even feel the loading. You go up to the door, it opens. With HTM network, it will be much easier to create tasks for all the different AI. Yeah, I'm not an expert on all that stuff, so that is definitely something I'm gonna have to research a lot more. Sounds perfect to be in first person. I do agree to some degree. It's really cool to walk around in first person, but at the same time, I'm not sure, man. I'm gonna have to do some testing on all of this, like player testing, eventually, to see how this game is actually even going to play out. That sounds cool, but keep in mind, most of those windows are see-through on the ship. Yeah. So there's a lot of different stuff I can do with that. One is make a low-res version of the room. So like a lower resolution, like very cheap models, but through the windows you can see that it's all there. But it kind of fussy, maybe. Or instead of loading it when we're at the door, we can load it as soon as we can actually see inside. So that is, again, something I'm gonna have to test out a bit more. What is personally your favorite parts about Titanic? I mean, that's such a hard question. Are you meaning like physically, like my favorite room, or like the story? That's a huge question. Like in Britannic Patroness of the Sea, interiors cannot just appear and disappear. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to be smart how we're loading it. So as I said, we can load it as soon as we can see it, or I can have a low-res interior that's loaded at all times, and then that changes when we open the door to the high-res one. Favorite room? I really like the reading room. Like the library and reading room. I also like the restaurant that I'm always forgetting the name of. With all the wines. It's the restaurant that's here. I always forget the name of it. But it has this, like, there's grass and vines on it. No, not grass, obviously, but like plants hanging down over the windows. I think that's a really beautiful one. I can't for the life of me remember the name of it. Yes, yes. That is correct. Let me just pull that up. We're definitely gonna get some honor and glory here, though. That's fine. Yeah, I'm just gonna use this honor and glory. I mean, it's the best we got, right? We kind of load it though. Yeah, this is another guy. So yeah, this one. I really do like this one. And that is here or here. I mean, it's in this section. If you ask yourself realistically how much time you'll need to put into this, what number, amount of months / years comes to mind? Fully released, 7 years. But it's going to be on episodes. So I don't believe like the first episode is going to be 10 years in the future. But that is at this moment. Like my dream is to become self-funded, so I can hire other people to help me out with this. But as a solo developer, for the whole thing to be released, it's gonna be a couple of years for sure. And there's just nothing to do with that at this moment. Yeah, as I said, I really want to get to the point where I can fund my own project. Did you try to set up Patreon? I have kind of started doing stuff like that, but I haven't fully gone into it yet. Because I do feel like I need more what I got at this moment. Like I need more to showcase with. And in another way, let's say I'm being fully funded on Patreon or similar sites. That puts so much extra stress on me, because then we actually got someone who's paying for this to come out. So then it kind of changes from a hobby project to a thing that I need to complete within a certain amount of years. So I really need to get myself in another headspace. Like I need to plan this thing out if I'm going to do that. And I need to have a plan that I can actually show the supporters and stuff like that. So don't people pay for the dream support? Often they support stuff that doesn't even exist yet. Just the idea. Yeah, I mean, maybe somebody thinks like that. But it's definitely a thing I need to think about. Slap an early access after Batch Street and there's no time restriction. That is true, though. That is true. One of my favorite games, Rust, is still in early access. And it's been in early access for 12, 13 years now. Wanted to share small snippets of or a screenshot of any kind of progress, people will be happy. I know if I was making this, I'd be so addicted to constantly looking around at the progress. Yeah, that is something I do a lot. Especially when making like models. Just looking at the same model for ages, playtesting the same thing 100 times. But the thing I'm also kind of afraid of, Paul, is like the same thing that's happening with THG now. They, no matter what they do, no matter what they put out, they get so much hate, and it's all just the same thing. It's about how many years it's taken, stuff like that. And because I really think people don't really understand what it takes to make a game, or not just games, but art in general. And because unfortunately a lot of the community in Titanic Honor and Glory is really toxic. It's incredible to see all the negative comments they get all around their different channels, and that is really a shame. I'm not saying that's going to happen to me, but that is something I hate to see it happen to Honor and Glory, and I myself would hate to get that kind of feedback. Honor and Glory, sorry, Honor and Glory promised things they had no idea if they could make true, which made people really angry. But that's exactly what I'm doing. Like, everything I'm doing here, everything I'm talking about, is really ambitious for one guy to do. So I could be bullshitting. I could be maybe eventually I found out there's no way this is going to happen, and that is the kind of, like, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but that is a lot of things to take into consideration. But that's because they have become too big too fast. Thomas has accelerated the press interest so fast to such proportions they simply cannot fulfill the promises he made. I mean, I guess maybe. Well, yeah, they have changed like a lot of the project. Some are, yeah, I did say some, I hope. I'm not meeting their entire community at all. There's so many good people there with genuine feedback. I'm just saying the comments that you notice are, some are generally horrific. Like, yeah, we're talking death threats and stuff here. You are transparent and we see it happening. They veiled it in secrecy and months of silence. I guess that is, I don't know, maybe like a protection mechanism for them because they got so much hate. I know I haven't followed THD throughout the whole development. I actually found out about them when I was researching for this project. So yeah, I definitely think there's more sides to this. I just think it's really scary to see the amount of pressure they got on themselves. But again, maybe they did overpromise. I don't know. Honestly, I have no idea. They are sadly the loudest though. Yeah, exactly. That was the biggest grab. They hit the progress bar in crowdfunding, and that's what pissed people off. Yeah, again, I haven't followed the entire development process, so I guess I can't really comment too much about it. I remember when they said they will reveal some fully finished NPCs for the game, then they never showed any, but then they just ordered an NPC to be made by a freelancer and showed that and never returned to the concept. Yeah. But guys, I actually think I have to go now. As I said earlier, I'm gonna be joining Blue Star Line for another stream in 40 minutes at 9 o'clock for me. So yeah, as I said, we're just gonna chill. We're gonna play the demo, talk a little bit. He's gonna ask me a couple of things about my project. He's a real cool guy, so I hope all you guys want to join us in that. Which is concept art of an NPC. Right. But yeah, we got not too much done today actually, but it was cool to talk a bit more about my animation and how I made it. And other than that, what did we do? We played some fences. Yeah, I mean, I've said this 1,000 times before. I'm working very slowly when I'm streaming, but it's also what I enjoy the most while working. Hello, Greg Biss. I hope they will promote your game. Well, yeah, I guess in a way. Sorry, you have to stick around with me. Well, I'm just happy you're ever gonna be there. And my lack of political correctness. I mean, we need some people like that for it. How long have you been working on this model? I mean, a couple of weeks back, I had a 2-month break from this project. I was working on some other smaller projects. Like in hours. I'm not too sure, but it's definitely not too much. As I've said, I do have a reference model, which makes the entire process a lot easier. Yeah, because this model is accurate to size and proportions, but you can see like the detail up close is not really good. So I'm just using everything from here as a reference, and then making it higher detail with custom models and such. To show them Southampton. Yeah, we can do that. So Southampton is probably the most work I've done in this project, I believe. Or maybe the wreck is, actually. The windows are awesome. Yeah, I spent like... I think I made all the windows in 2 streams. And I think all the windows took like 10 hours to model. Did you finish the wreck? No, not completely. And I'm only gonna do the bow, I believe. And so this is Southampton in 1912, where Titanic set sail. And this is, as I said, probably what I've spent the most time on. I'm super happy with it. And it's not finished yet, obviously. But this is going to be some of the intro sequences. Oh, lag. Yeah, so we also... What we did the last stream was... Collisions are weird. What we did last stream was we kind of textured this thing that we never figured out what it's called. Choice, guys, this is where it happens. Looks fantastic, but you're doing a brilliant job. Thank you, Connor. Oh my god, imagine playing that. Yeah, I can really imagine it. Like, the player is gonna arrive by train. We do have like a small train yard here. It's not a train yard, but you understand. And this is going to be completely crowded with other passengers. There's going to be baggage everywhere. And I'm super happy with this. I have no idea what to call it. Like storage. It does have a name, but I've forgotten it. Did you make that tower model yourself, that bridge? Yes, everything here is actually modeled by me. There's not, like this one here is the reference model we were looking at earlier. but everything here is modeled by me. Well, we do have Megascans assets as well. And this train here was actually given to me by Honor and Glory. For some reason, they just gave me their train model. Oh, there's a lot of stuff here going on. Wait, was the inside of the roof actually gray? Are we talking about this one? Because, yes, the roof here was paneled. I guess maybe the color needs to be changed a bit. But there was paneled roof here. Thomas Andrews, my ship. Indeed it is. I just shared your stream. Thank you, Connor. It's a shame I'm gonna be ending it very soon now. Also, this chip here is made by Slycoons in Chatter. We did have some issues importing it, but he is making the SS New York, which, for those of you who don't know, Titanic almost collided with that ship, so it's, we're definitely gonna use this. Oh god, don't look at it. That SS New York is wrong scale. That is probably because I didn't import it properly. We had some issues importing the model. Would your idea be possible with the Honor and Glory model? Yeah, for sure. We are going to be using the train. There's also a newer version that works. Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to import your model properly. The one I sent you for the minigame point. Yeah, oh, yeah, true. You actually did send me that one. Yeah, so we're gonna have to import that eventually. And there was also like huge cranes here, which I'm not looking forward to model. They look like absolute hell to model. Though I have seen there's a replica model out for sale, which I'm probably gonna buy eventually, because I don't want to model it. I'm building Titanic in Stoneworks. Ooh, cool. I definitely want to try out some Stoneworks eventually. Are we going to do NPCs? Are we going to buy NPCs? The thing is, I really want to use metahumans for the NPCs, but a metahuman is so costly and unoptimized at this moment. So I'm just hoping Unreal is going to, they probably are, like Epic Games are going to change how their metahumans are set up, so they actually work in a crowd game. But the thing that's going to be difficult about the NPCs are the clothes, because there's not a lot of really out there with clothes from the early 1900s. And as you probably know, like especially the women in this era had such weird, like super fancy classy clothing. So that's definitely going to be a challenge. Yeah, it's probably Edwardian, yeah. I think they have crowd set up with MetaHuman. Yeah, they do, but it's still in like early access kind of thing. And I'm super excited to test that out, but I'm probably still going to wait a little bit. And inside Titanic, there's something made. I have the D-deck entrance. That's basically it for now. I mean, Edwardian, Victorian. I'm good with mixing a couple of eras. Okay, guys, but I actually really have to go now. I'm gonna get something to eat, then I'm gonna join Blue Star Line's stream. We're gonna be playing, I'm gonna say it again because we have more new viewers now. We're gonna be playing the Honor and Glory demo. And he's going to be asking me a couple of questions about my project, and we're just gonna talk about Titanic, I guess. It's gonna be a nerdy stream, I guess. But yeah, I'm excited for that. So you're all welcome to join Blue Star Line. Let me see if I can find his link. So the link I just posted there, that's the link to the video. We're going live in 25 minutes. So you're all welcome to join. So thank you guys all so much for joining me on the stream. I had a lot of fun today. And yeah, I hope I'll see you in the Blue Star Line stream. But other than that, again, thank you all so much for subscribers, the donation I got. Thank you, Paul. And yeah, so have a good day, guys, and I hope I'll see you in our stream in 24 minutes. One last question: did you use Blender for modeling? Some Blender and mostly 3ds Max. Have a good day, Greg. Alright,